Now we are here, about to start the final episode of Mass Effect Trilogy. So let's just start with you, Admiral, and see what's up.
Commander?
Admiral,
Just going over the sitrep.
how's it look?
Barely 50% of Hammer has reported in.
Can we count on more making it?
There's some stragglers still en route. But the bulk of Hammer that's still intact has arrived. We're as ready as we're likely to get.
Every minute wasted here, the Reapers gather strength.
Exactly my thoughts. Battalion leaders, report to HQ. We fought hard to get here. But now the toughest part of our mission begins. We've got to drive right through the heart of Reaper-controlled territory, break past their defenses, and get to that beam.
What kind of defenses?
The entire area is crawling with Reaper forces. But our biggest concern is the destroyer, protecting the beam itself.
Can we bring in air support to deal with it?
Negative. Some kind of interference. We'll have to take it out from the ground. Now they've cut a swath of no man's land through the city. We'll have to cross that first. There'll be some limited shelter on the other side, but expect heavy ground resistance. We need to get our tanks to here, if we get close enough. We've got a shot at taking that thing out.
How much of a shot?
They know we're coming. This will be a one-way trip for many of us. But there can be no retreat. No stepping back. We move forward at all costs, understood?
Hoo-yeah.
Yes, sir.
Johnson, Coates, you two will coordinate the artillery units. Shepard, I'm sending you right up the gut where the resistance is heaviest. Support the tanks the best you can, but stay alive. I need you for the final push to the beam. I'll give you a minute with your squad. Pick your team well.
This war has brought you here today. It will define each of you. You may be a brother to someone, a daughter, a son. But today, you're a soldier. The Reapers gave you a purpose, and you accepted the challenge. You all chose to be here. Each of you chose to stand and fight. The next few hours will decide the fate of everyone in the galaxy. Every mother, every son, every unborn child. They're trusting you, depending on you to win them their future. A future free from the threat of the Reapers. But take heart. Look around you. You're not in this fight alone. We face our enemy together, and together we will defeat them.
And now we are here doing the final episode, the final push against the Reapers. And I actually had to redo this episode, but you don't actually see it because, well, it didn't work out so well. There was editing problems and all that, and the ending problems, and I also forgot that I had planned to make that kind of let's play that basically docu is only about as long as there is somebody or something to document what happened, basically factual report. And as I have played this before, there will be none left, nobody to document events occurring at the one specific, quite soon coming location moment of this game. Which basically is also the final confrontation and all those really dramatic moments, but they would break the fact that. But they would be at something like, you could say, speculation, or how you want to call it. As I'm doing this as I'm redoing this episode, I also decided to go for a bit lower level of difficulty, so that there wouldn't be unnecessary reloading. And all that kind of nonsense. I just want to get through do this all, because, well, for you viewers, this project may take months. Actually, it has taken months, and making it has taken weeks. So that's my method. I want to make these big projects ready at big batches, and then I just make them automatically release whenever they are. I don't know how you would call that method, but I always find it quite convenient and handy method of doing things.
We'll try to clear the building.
But this final mission isn't dramatically as interesting as you could say of the Mass Effect 1, in which there was chasing, doing a crazy jump over there with a mass related to the Citadel, or Mass Effect 2, which was all built up to the final mission. And this one, well, you can kind of see that the crew was starting to get a little bit tired and, you might say, running out of steam, because of the all 4 mainline Mass Effect games, I personally like, well, second is best dramatically, but gameplay wise, actually it is Andromeda which I like best, because it has a good balance between shooting, exploration and all that. And this one, Mass Effect 2 and 3, even though Mass Effect 2 has magnificent dramatic scenes and great singular missions, and Mass Effect 3 also has the same, but I like having some sort of, not as you could say, I like games to have lots of gameplay and less dramatic action scenes, even though Mass Effect handles its dramatic action scenes really well. They are fun, the action scenes, these missions got intense action and all that kind of nonsense about going out.
Thanks. We're moving again.
So let's just open this door. Ah, look at that. That was right at the beginning of the Mass Effect 3 as well. A husk behind the door, so you have to smack it out. Cockroach. Oh yeah, husks are quite disgusting.
The buildings will give us
them a place to hide.
Roger that.
And I would say that they're all the really great dramatic scenes, of at least one of them having a possible long-term unpleasant consequences for the galaxy. Yeah, of course depends on how bad it would be. The worst case would be something that Urdnot Rex would not be leading the galaxy, and they would not be Urdnot Bakara to balance their other Krogan leader, who is much more militant and aggressive character. And he doesn't show up because there's no threat to survive, because he's a more, you could say, reasonable Krogan leader. So that during the genophage is possibly, you could say, foolish decision dictated by momentary necessity instead of long-term planning, which for Salarians, because Salarians were not known from being good at those long-term plan decisions, well, uplifting Krogan was quite a stupid move, because it solved the problem and solved the problem of Rachni and created a problem of uncontrolled Krogan expansion, because their culture had not developed far enough to handle interstellar space travel and all that kind of stuff. So things were, but in a short run, fast breeding, aggressive and very tough and durable Krogan were exactly what were needed to defeat Rachni. And it was 1400 years ago, and there's still bitterness about it. Hell. So that, I would say that is one of the, you could say, complex decisions and moral and ethical sense that Mass Effect has. And I would say that at long term you might say that if there would not be any kind of balancing leadership of Krogan, you could say forward thinking and lenient, not curing the genophage would be the right choice. But with Rex being a leader, it is, at least for time being, good enough decision, and most likely also something that Salarians certainly would not be dumb enough not to be preparing for a new genophage, just in case. This mission is basically just a long almost all missions of Mass Effect 3 are just long gauntlets of get through an enemies, get through them, they're in a wave. You're in, and you're in, and I say that this mission makes it big, is quite perhaps the worst offender of that kind of, I would say, gameplay disease, or how you wanna call it. They certainly wasn't as thoroughly planned and considered how the final mission of the end game would be, because in Mass Effect 1 it was quite well thought out what kind of end game would be, even with the final boss, and in Mass Effect 2 equally well, even though the Human Reaper feels quite, you could say, clunky design. Why would they make humanoids when they had already got this crustacean build established? Although they had then just seen one Reaper which had looked very much like Geth. So only you could say that only in Mass Effect 3 you could see more Reapers, and those huge swarms of Reapers that appeared at the end of Mass Effect 2, well, they were quite variable in appearance. They were basically all followed the same, some sort of cuttlefish crustacean appearance. But there was quite lots of variety in them. Some of them had different shape of platings and all that. Yeah, gets rifle. It just feels good weapon to use. Moderate recoil, lots of fire spray, and the beam-like stream is just so satisfying. But now I'm going to try to find the Stanix battery, and that was also quite predictable. Oh yeah, and even if you could say that this is not a massive, well, this is a brutal and savage final battle, but this is not that kind of final battle that you would have great chances going against. Yeah. Mixed species squad. Only thing was missing was Forian. That was anti-tank stuff.
Where's our fire support? We need reinforcements on them!
Oops. Yeah, the main gun is dangerous. So now we've got some big guns, missiles. Missile artillery. Real understanding to know that the late 2100s weapons like missile artillery would still be useful.
Major, what's the situation?
The beam's interfering with missile guidance.
And you might say that this is the final battle. Very disappointing, you could say.
Can you read me?
Yes, Commander.
Any suggestions?
I may be able to use the Normandy systems to enhance the missile's targeting capabilities.
Excellent.
I'll need you to open a link to the Normandy from the missile systems.
On it.
Alright.
That's it. I'll let you know when I've adapted the targeting systems.
Sounds like good news, Commander.
We'll see.
Hammer, this is Admiral Anderson. The Reaper ground forces are making a push. Hold your ground. Protect those tanks until we can get a shot.
You heard it, people. Get ready.
There they are!
Yeah, another big defend the post, get a wave of enemies kind of combat encounter, which are not that, you could say, it would have been, I would find it would have been more dramatic that they would have been more like enemy gauntlet that you have to run through instead of just stay put and move them all down using a massive amount of firepower. Of course, depends on level of difficulty how difficult that job would be, but dramatically, and it ain't really thing. It's really real boring, and gameplay wise it's just very much all the same that the game has already had. There's nothing really new except the huge Reaper at the providing backdrop. So I would say that despite the shooting and all that being really good and powers play nice and all that, gameplay, in a sense technical gameplay in Mass Effect 3 was the best with the original trilogy, but it lacked, you could say, the real RPG element of this. It was much more action game in gameplay than RPG, even though the original one was also very heavily on RPG, or very heavily on action game. But it had the, you could say, narrative and structure of the
We've got more incoming.
much more of an RPG, which I think was the reason why it became such a great success. It had sense of exploration and plenty of information about what kind of society they, you could say, the human system alliance is, and what kind of technical matters are happening and of course huge amount of study about what are the Mass Effect heroes themselves. They were also very thoroughly thought out what they would do, and hell, even when they even played with the tropes like, yes, we need some sort of beautiful female alien species, but then they got the idea that why they would be like that, and then they got the Asari. And after that was done, then they started to make in-universe stereotypes for them, and same with the Krogan and Turians, all that. Well, Turians mostly remain quite much as their stereotype is. Krogan and Asari got the most amount of subversions, twists and bends about their stereotype, even with the well, Mass Effect 3 did not have Krogan teammates, but it have encounters with both with Rex and Grunt, so which are of course the previous Krogan teammates. So it really ain't that kind of, you could say, big thing. Although I would say that the only truly unique new teammate was Javik, because Edie had appeared at the previous game but had not been playable, but had been quite prominent character of the game. So Mass Effect 3 in that kind of sense feels a bit let down.
Commander, I've reprogrammed targeting. Missiles are ready for
Alright.
launch.
Got it. You heard her. Back to the truck, people.
Well, there's the missile. Fire.
Missile guidance enhanced.
Fire.
Basically some sort of dumb missiles which would not have any electronic guidance might be doing it the best. Oh shit.
What happened?
The Reaper is still too close to the beam.
We're down to 2 missiles.
And we haven't even made a dent.
You will need to allow the Reaper to move out of the beam's influence.
And closer to us.
Commander, Hammer's being overrun at every turn. Reaper ground forces are converging on your location. We're fighting our way to you. Hold on, Commander. Hold on.
Goddess, more are coming?
Hold on, everyone. We can do this.
Oh yeah, but this really isn't that kind of
Here they come.
grand that final battle scene, because it's just another wave of Reapers that you haven't faced. There's nothing new. It's the same mess of brutes, banshees, cannibals, and marauders. Nothing really hand-to-hand combat. Although you might say that there might be more of those dangerous ones. Gameplay-wise, their functions are quite... Well, in gameplay, Mass Effect 2 and 3 are very similar. Refining what he had. Brutes most likely are Reaperized Krogan, while cannibals are much more about Reaperized Batarians. That's why Batarians appear much further than earlier than the Oh yeah, Harvester went down. I'm playing. Because I had to redo the episode, I also had to I did place the difficulty lower for this final part. Mostly because it's just so repetitive, this kind of battle. Oh, that. similar to that. Oh, even though I definitely... And I wonder, are all Banshees made from Yksi Asari or just regular Asari? I would assume that regular Asari will do, but they first needed some Yksi to make sure that... And also the game makes it clear that how Asari treat Yksi, that they treat them with basically combination of fear and because, well, knowing how dangerous they are, establishing some sort of religious cult which worships them as God, most likely something at the lighter end of craziness that Yksi can do and will do and have done. Oops. Get the shielder.
Commander, the destroyer is in range. Missiles are ready for launch.
Roger that, Edie.
Get the weaponry. Yeah, it's basically timed mission of... And there's the missile. Run. Make them go.
Reaper is within range.
And Mass Effect 3's also problem was that it didn't have really good antagonists beyond Elusive Man. Reapers themselves, well, they are much more of a narrative force than characters.
Fire it!
Right into the eye, and shield was up, so the blast wasn't contained and did way more damage.
Hit him with everything you've got.
Yeah, you need artillery pieces to take down Reapers. Or you would have to get somebody really close, as in to say climb on
Nice
it.
work, Edie.
Shepard, we're on our way to your location.
Roger that.
Shepard! Over here! Thank God you made it.
It didn't look good.
It gets worse.
Of course it does.
Hackett just reported in. Several Sovereign-class Reapers, including Harbinger, have broken off from the battle with Sword. They're headed here.
Harbinger.
It's an opportunity for Hackett to get the Crucible in place. But we have to get a team on board the Citadel to open those arms now.
We still don't even know what we'll find when we get to the Citadel.
Then that's our job. Find out what we're up against.
All right. Saddle up, everybody. Get me Admiral Hackett.
Yeah, that should tell how big Reapers are. But that was Destroyer.
It's now or never, Admiral. We're going in.
Yeah, that should tell how big the Crucible is.
Send the word.
It's big.
All ships, this is Admiral Hackett. The Crucible is on the move. I repeat, the Crucible is on the move. Protect it at all costs. Everyone, this is it. Any available squadrons, delay those Reapers leaving the battle. We've got to give Hammer more time.
here on in, it's a straight shot to the beam.
A straight shot with Reapers trying to crush us along the way.
We just need to get a handful of troops through.
Oh, basically.
At all.
We knew this was going to be a gamble at best.
Bad odds are better than no chance at all.
That's
The
true.
alternative is death. At least this gives us a chance.
Well,
We're in sight of the target.
All right, everyone. This is it.
yep. Bad odds is better than no odds. So, just an open line. Very similar than at the end of Mass Effect 1. And that's Harbinger. Just making his final only personal appearance, and he's not even appearing to gloat. He's just coming there to be a big looming presence.
Hammer squads, go!
Yep. Going in. And he's using the big Reaper death beam. With a big heavy rate of fire. Oh, damn. And after that, going to the beam, there will be no more recording left. These are the final encounters Commander Shepard had on Earth or anywhere in Citadel space, so that somebody was there to witness it. And it feels appropriate that those final witnesses were his basically spouse, mate, and best friend.
Normandy, do you copy? I need an evac right now. Come on. Here, take her.
Shepard!
You gotta get out of here.
I'm alright, Shepard.
Don't argue with me, Liara.
You're not leaving me behind.
No matter what happens. You mean everything to me, Liara.
Shepard,
Go!
Real fine animation. That was the last time they ever saw him. But there are still some recordings left about what might be happening. And I will be showing not just the final moments of the recorded Commander Shepard's existence, but also some of the consequences him getting there had, or has, however you want to call it. Mass Effect Andromeda 600 years later does not tell what kind of consequences what happened at Milky Way, except something like the later arcs having a big blaring warning lights that something do not get closer, which might be a result of disease or impossible to say. But these are the final recorded moments of Commander Shepard. Him struggling towards the beam in a field of battered soldiers. And seeing some husks as well. Commander Shepard was not known for being good at that giving up thing. And it would not be the first it would be a big light corridor that we'd approach to, so it feels very much like approaching death. And there was our goddamn more order as well. The final moments of Commander Shepard, as observable by history and which can be guessed, are about to an end. Only what's left now are the consequences of this travel. And it ends.
If you're hearing this, then there is still hope. Hope that you can avoid the same mistakes we made. We fought the Reapers, but we failed to stop them. We did everything we could. We built the Crucible, but it didn't work. We fought as a united galaxy, but it wasn't enough. I only hope the information in this capsule is enough to help you before it's too late. My name is Dr. Liara T'Soni. Herein lies the recounting of our war with the Reapers.
Did that all really happen?
We'll never know exactly what it was like, but yes, the archives tell the true story of those who came before us. They fought a terrible war, so we wouldn't have to.
And that's why we have peace.
Yes, without everything they accomplished, without the information they passed down, we too would be threatened.
What else do we know about the Shepherd?
Just what we have in the archives. But I've only told you a few of the stories.
Can you tell me another one, please?
It's getting late, but okay. One more story.